concept of the various information that we can get from a chemical reaction. So for a chemical reaction, let us take one example. If I have calcium carbonate reacted with hydrochloric acid, I will get calcium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. To make it more informative, let us add the physical state of these substances. Calcium carbonate is solid in nature. Hydrochloric acid is basically aqueous. Calcium chloride is also aqueous. Aqueous is a solution of a compound mixed with another liquid. So aqueous means when a solid is mixed with a liquid, or when the liquid is mixed with another liquid, that becomes a aqueous solution. Carbon dioxide is basically a gas and water is liquid. Now let us balance this equation also. For balancing any equation, you can refer to the previous videos also. I am directly balancing it. It is gas, aqueous, and solid. Now let us consider the various information we can get from this chemical reaction. First of all, always a chemical reaction needs to be balanced. So first information we can get from this reaction is the identification of various compounds. As we can see, totally there are 5 types of compounds, out of which one is gas, one is solid, and the rest of them are somewhat in liquid state. So this is the first information which we can get from this chemical reaction. The second information which we can get is the identification of reactants and the products. Clearly there are 2 reactants and there are 3 products. Out of these 3 products, one is in gaseous state, one is in liquid and the other is in the aqueous. So this is the basically 2 information which we can get directly from this chemical reaction. The third is the physical nature or the physical state. I have already discussed it, the solid, liquid and the aqueous state. The fourth is the number of atoms or the molecules. Like for example, I have one molecule of calcium carbonate because there is one in the front of calcium carbonate. There are 2 molecules of HCl that are required in the chemical reaction and 1 molecule each of calcium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. So basically we can see the various types of molecules or the number of molecules which are required in a chemical reaction. The next important information is about the we can say the mass ratio. To understand this concept or to understand this point, let us take another example in which I have hydrogen and oxygen to form water. Basically in this example, hydrogen is in the gaseous form, oxygen is also in the gaseous form and the liquid, that is water, is produced. So let us find out the mass of all these 3 compounds. As you know, mass of hydrogen atom is 1 atomic mass unit. So for 2 atoms it will be 2 atomic mass unit. Mass of 1 atom of oxygen is 16. So for 2 atoms it will be 32 atomic mass unit. Now let us find the mass of water. As we know, one atom of hydrogen weighs 1 atomic mass unit. So for 2 atoms it will be 2 atomic mass unit plus 16. So it will be 18 atomic mass unit. Now it is not balanced. So to make it balanced, I will do it like this. And now the final mass will become 2 into 2, it will be 4 atomic mass unit. It will remain 32 atomic mass unit and finally it will become 36 atomic mass unit. So now as you can see, the total mass here is also 36 atomic mass unit and here in the product is also the same. So we can see that in a chemical reaction, the mass of the reactants is same as the mass of products and we can get the ratio of the different mass like for example, mass of hydrogen upon mass of oxygen, we can directly get 4 upon 32. Similarly, I can get the mass of oxygen upon the mass of water. So clearly we can get the different type of ratios or different type of mass of all the reactants and all the products. So these were the 5 important information which we can get from a balanced chemical equation. Clearly all the chemical reaction and all the chemical equation must be balanced. Only then you can find out the total number of atoms, total number of molecules and the mass from all this type of chemical equation.